Well, a third suspect has been arrested in connection with the killing of a ward councillor in Mkhondo. It's a former local mayor, Vusi Mota, has already appeared in court for the possession of an unlicensed firearm. That's been reported on. Also, his co-accused, Sifiso Sangweni, is facing a charge of providing a firearm and ammunition to a person not authorized to carry it. So it does look like it is moving forward very quickly, which is good news, of course, as we try and get on top of what many are calling political killings in the province. This is not at all what is needed a year away from elections. Let's bring in Mpumalanga Premier Refilwe Mtsweni-Tsipane making time for us today. Premier, good afternoon. I appreciate your time, and this is a step in the right direction. Give us a sense then of how much of a difference these kind of cases, these kind of arrests make in getting on top of political killings. Premier, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Gareth, and good afternoon to the listeners at home. Indeed, certainly these are good news. The progress that has been made thus far is pleasing and very comforting. What we can confirm is that yesterday we have apprehended one suspect, of which he was then subjected to a parade, which he was positively identified. As we speak, he is held in custody in connection with the killing of who's the councillor, Mr. Njangase, Mr. Kumalo, and Mr. Mbongo. So he will be appearing tomorrow in the Petritive Magistrate Court with the charges. However, we must also indicate that further arrests are imminent. In due course, we will be speaking to you. We are hard at work in making sure that we bring all the perpetrators to book. And some, of course, might be related to the previous killing that we had in November last year, that of Muzimanyati.
It's got to worry you, Premier, I'm sure it does, when there's a former local mayor that had to appear in court with an unlicensed firearm charge. What message does it send to the residents in your province when you have a former local mayor being involved in something like this, or allegedly involved in something like this? It's got to worry you a year away from elections.
Yes, it's actually worrying us all. We are so concerned. And not only that, he was a former mayor, but a councillor who has just resigned recently. And therefore, it leaves sour tastes in the face of our people and also in their mouths. Therefore, it's a behavior that certainly all of us will not condone. Obviously, he will have to answer how he got hold of those unlicensed firearms and what were they intended for. Obviously, we are saying that the law should not spare anyone of us, be it a politician or a pastor or police. Everyone who is found wanting in these instances must be brought to book, because this is troubling our communities. All of us, we are concerned. And therefore, it says we are not safe. And therefore, we cannot let this thing go unabated as if there is lawlessness in this country. And we've got confidence that our police will do their utmost best to crack all these cases, and everyone must be brought to book. Irregardless of who you are, what is your standing within the community, we are saying everybody must be held accountable.
I see, Premier, that Thabo Mokoena, Kasatu Mpumalanga Provincial Secretary, of course, he's gone on record as saying that this killing is barbaric, but then calling on the ANC to resolve factionalism. And he believes the factionalism within the ANC, within Mpumalanga, is leading to this increase in political killings. Would you agree with that? And if so, how do we fix this? If not, why don't you agree?
These are senseless killings, and the ANC does not stand for this. And therefore, this is not the policies and the constitution that we have adopted as an ANC. We believe that everyone is equal before the law. And therefore, ANC would not condone any unbecoming behavior. As you can see today, everyone is down here. The leadership of ANC, starting from national up to the regional level, actually up to the branch level, because of we are concerned as custodian and the developers of our policies. We are saying that whoever, whether you're an ANC member, regardless of your political affiliation, a wrong cannot be right. And therefore, we are standing in unison to say that we need to deal with these issues. Coming to provincial politics, I want to say, I must confirm that we have since restored some sense of stability within the province. And of course, there is still a lot of work that needs to be done. Of paramount interest to all of us is that we need to unite the members of the African National Congress as far possible so that when we work together, we will be able to deliver the services to our people as we have promised them. So the infightings and factionalism will not yield any positive results from what we intend to achieve for our communities. And I, for one, and also the organization, we stand against any factionalism that sought to undermine the gains that the African National Congress that has made thus far. And the plight that I'm sharing, I am saying it very confidently because we are in constant interaction as comrades and as the leadership of the African National Congress within the province, and we share the very same sentiments. Of course, the ANC will take its time to cleanse itself, but then ultimately we'll get to the bottom of this. For as long as we've got men and women who are fearless, who would speak without fear or any fear of any prejudice, to say that we need to stand against ill discipline within the movement. We need to stand against those who sought to undermine all the gains that have already been made without any fear of contradiction.
Premier, briefly, just the last question, if you don't mind. I want to squeeze this question in just as I say goodbye to you. What is your involvement going to be with the task team? I understand that the Police Minister, Becky Cele, is establishing. Are you going to be involved in that at all? And what's your expectation? What do you want them to do, just as I say goodbye to you, Premier?
Yes, Gareth, if I may take you back, as far back as 2009, as the province, we have been experiencing political, what we would term correctly so, as political killings. And up to date, thus far, we've got about 12 of them. This is a call for concern for us. It's a cause for concern because it cannot go unabated. At some point, there comes a time where we need to take a stance and say, this is enough. As we are seeing that we are cracking the whip, we are trying as far hard as possible to make sure that we get closer to this space and make sure that our people are safe within the province. The reason for my calling for a multidisciplinary task team, requesting the minister, of which we are grateful and appreciate his prompt response in this regard, was to say that let us join hands, because sometimes if you rely to local people who are exposed to the environment, who are used to the environment...
Premier, forgive me, I'm going to cut you off there. I'll tell you why. The line is starting to drop, and I did take your point, and I didn't want the line to start dropping with a slow response because of Zoom. But I am going to say thank you for your time. Premier, I did get the crux of what you were saying regarding the task team, but the line was beginning to fade a little bit. I thought I'd push my luck and ask the Premier that last question, but it looks like Zoom was not going to be on my side. My thanks to the Premier of Mpumalanga, Refilwe Mtsweni-Tsipane, joining us here on eNCA.